Hello everyone, my name is George and welcome to the yo-yo team. So essentially, this will be the first checkpoint for understanding, and there's going to be necessities I need you guys to master and also extra tips and tricks that you can optionally master, and that's about it. Hello everyone, this is VoiceOver George, and out of the 8 essentials that we need to master, this is the first one. The first one is also known as the startup. It's essentially just starting up the yo-yo. So I start on my right side, and I pull the yo-yo, maintaining tension on the strings towards the left side, and I whip it up in an instant and start pulling, and I usually loop it around twice around the yo-yo to make it accelerate faster. What I'm doing right now is the proper form of accelerating the yo-yo, and is basically the normal form of accelerating a yo-yo, and that's about it. So at this point I forgot to mention, but if you don't already know, the yo-yo has 2 sides, the black and white side, and you can see that the black side is supposed to be facing towards you. Okay, so this is just a continuation of the startup and adjusting portion of the yo-yo. So essentially I'm accelerating here. I'm going to then demonstrate how to rotate and turn the yo-yo, like the whole plane of the yo-yo. So first, I'm going to want to turn to my right, and so essentially I let my right hand flip to the other side of the yo-yo, and I grind that top part so it like turns. And as you can see, now I'm in a different direction. I always want to face behind the black, and also the yo-yo, you can see, is tilted away from me, so I pull my right hand back to make it tilt towards me. So your right hand is essentially the adjuster. So now the yo-yo is tilted towards me, I put my right hand out and push it towards the other direction. And that's essentially it. Now what I'm gonna show you is different ways to wind up the yo-yo. As you can see earlier, I'm winding up the yo-yo by pulling it pulling it over the yo-yo, but there's actually another way. The other way is to just like kind of that's the normal way, obviously, and to like unloop it. Some people, yeah, you can do that. That's the normal way, but some people also do that, which is looping it. They kind of throw it in a circle, and to unloop it, you kind of throw it in the opposite direction, and it has the same effect. And some people just use it for aesthetics. So I'm going to start off with the first trick, which is essentially called the sun. So essentially just put your 2 strings together and wave it in a circle. It's pretty easy. So 2 strings together and wave it in a circle. And that actually changes the direction of the strings, kind of. I don't know if you understand that, but essentially if you circle one way, you have to uncircle it the other way to go into the basic position again. Now, the second essential item that we need to understand is the basic toss. So essentially the basic toss is unwinding the string until there's no string attached on top of the yo-yo, and just tossing it into the air with both hands and then aiming with your right string. The third trick is what I like to call the wind-up toss. So I'm going to stand to the right. I'm going to make my sticks facing each other. I'm going to wind over the yo-yo and then behind that string, and then that's once. And I'm going to wind it one more time again. I'm going to put the sticks together. I'm going to toss it up. I'm going to try catching, but I failed to do that. And that's essentially it. Okay, so for the fourth trick, I will be performing the barbecue sticks. So I'm going to accelerate my yo-yo like normal, and I'm going to unwrap that acceleration, those things. I'm going to stand to the right. I'm going to hold my right hand lower than my left, and essentially I'm going to toss a yo onto my right stick. I'm adjusting it right now. I toss it onto my right stick. I can also throw it onto my left stick and back on my right stick, but obviously I didn't do that well. So as you can see, it's tilting. I'm adjusting that. I'm going to perform it once more, I believe so. So I'm going to turn my yo-yo facing to the camera, unwrap, stand to the right, toss it onto my right stick, toss it to my left stick, toss it back to my right stick, and then loop the string over the yo-yo to restart it again. And now that's and what I just did was a really good way to reset the yo-yo, as the yo-yo was flipping and turning. Now, the fifth trick I will be performing is called the spider web. So essentially, I flip the yo-yo onto the string by throwing it towards my right side. And then I go through the mini hole that you can see behind it. I toss it up, I land it in the X formation. I can toss it a few times, and to reset, I just bring the two strings together. Next is trick 6, which I like to call the motorcycle spin. So essentially what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stand where I'm facing the right. I'm going to bring my right string behind myself. I'm going to wrap it over my shoulder and position it the same length as my other string. Toss the yo-yo from the left string to the right string, and then bring it in a circular motion. And then go back to that thing and then throw it back to the left string and just unwind. If that was hard, I suggest you to relook at the video, but I believe I will be performing it again. I put it over my shoulder, toss it to the right, make a circular motion with my arm, as you can see, and I just uncircle that. I get into the position that we were in, throw it back to the left, and just unloop. Trick number 7, or the last of the 8 essentials, is the whip, which is most likely the hardest one. So first, you're going to position your right hand or dominant hand, the hand you're going to use to whip in that formation. We're going to do that later. So I'm going to speed up the yo here. And this variation of whip we're doing is going to be the whip where you toss it with your non-dominant fingers. So again, do that formation with your whipping hand. Use 2 fingers, put it into the middle of the yo-yo to grab it. Then let the, okay, this is really important, let the strings slowly fall down so it doesn't turn. When it falls down, whip it, take it off, then throw it into the air with your left hand or non-dominant, and then whip it with your dominant. So I'm going to do this again in a more broader perspective. So I turn the yo-yo like that, and I'm going to accelerate. I'm going to unwind. I'm going to do the finger formation again. I'm going to take it. Throw it off. I throw it, and then I miss. So whipping is actually really hard because you have to aim for that centerpiece. You have to aim for one of the blue ears. So essentially, one of your strings is going to hit the middle, and one is going to hit the outside to essentially like whip around the yo-yo. So I'm going to attempt it again. I place it there, take it off slowly, toss it, and then I'm going to whip it. And I missed again. Okay, that's really embarrassing. As you can see, this is probably going to be the hardest thing. And by Thursday, I want you guys to hopefully master this down, because the whipping trick is most likely going to be used in the choreo. So this time I actually get it. So remember, pulling down the string is really important. It's really hard to do. I messed up here and I had to restart. After a few more attempts at whipping, I finally got it in this last one. So I'm accelerating here. I'm unwinding. I get into my finger position. I place my non-dominant, take off the string, toss it up, and then whip it. And that's how it's supposed to look. So I'm now going to quickly move on into the extra things. So this one is called the fake throw. It's essentially the wind-up toss, if you don't recall. And essentially just instead of 2 circles, you're doing 1 circle, placing them against each other and throwing it. So this trick is called the over and under catch. It's really kind of difficult because people don't get this right a lot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to perform a normal toss, but I'm going to go over the yo-yo and catch it by going right and under. So again, I'm going to perform. Okay, so after that, to unwind it, you just cross your arms, toss it up, and catch it. So I'm going to do the over and under catch once more, this time slowing the footage down. I'm going to, again, normally toss the yo-yo. And this time you can see that I am going over the yo-yo and under the yo-yo. And again, cross your arms, toss it up to reset. This next one's called under the leg. So you essentially put a leg forward and then you kind of do the circular motion. And by hitting the string against your legs, you're able to make that in a circle. If you guys ever have any questions about the tricks like this one's kind of advanced, so I would try to teach you guys in person. So the next thing I'm going to go to is the other variation of the whip. So essentially I just pull it out and I'm going to essentially toss it up and then just like that whip it. Now this might take a few tries, but in the end it should look something like this. As for honorable mentions, here's the gunslinger. Essentially you do the same thing as the spider web, but then after that you put both sticks on your left, get your dominant, go under the first, over the other, and then allow the sticks to go in between your fingers like that, and then you can swing. And that's essentially the gunslinger. To stop that, you just take 2 sticks, bring it up, and you're done. So now the last one I'm going to perform is my ultimatum, which is one of the hardest tricks I know. And it's pretty difficult, so I'll try to explain it pretty briefly. Obviously, this is not necessary. So you put it over, you wrap it around your hand, you toss it into that top one, and then you go over, then you go under, and then you go over, then yeah, that's about it. Now, before I end this video, I'd just like to thank everyone who's watched through this and has most likely watched multiple times to practice their skills. I'm sorry for looking so depressed. I don't know why I normally look so depressed like that. And yeah, thank you for sticking through. So that's about it. From next Thursday, I expect everyone to have the necessities mastered and maybe practice like one or two like extra ones. And from then on, I have not, so here's what's going on. I haven't finished the choreography because there's still a bunch of advanced moves to learn. So I haven't decided. I plan to make the choreography out of first learning the advanced moves and secondly finding an audio. So if anyone would like to suggest any maybe Chinese or maybe just pop songs that go well with performance, please send me those. And I think the performance is going to be about 2 minutes long. So maybe if you find like a good section of a song, send those to me because I haven't started looking through audios. So that would be a great help. Remember when you're going to the Thursday practices to bring your yo-yo. And from now on to iFest, it's going to be every Thursday. We might have extra practices whenever we can during A lunch possibly. I used to think that A lunch, we would practice during A lunch sometimes, but sometimes that's not possible. So we'll see. I'm gonna make this group chat and hopefully everyone's in it. That's about it. Thank you very much, guys. And I will see you on Thursday.